His Excellency, Mr. Dimitrios Tsougas, on a very special day in Greece. And I share with you a short clip from a program we did last month to celebrate Greek Language Day. Thank you very much. That was a short clip from a program we did last month on Greek Language Day. Your Excellency, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for hosting me again. Thank you.
And for being with us on this very special day for you. Tell us about Greek independence and why it's so special this year.
Well, National Day for every country in the world, for every people in the world, is a very special day, of course, and this is the case for Greece as well. But this one is much more special for us because it's the bicentennial anniversary of the uprising, which led to the new modern Greek state. It was not just a day. It was inspired by the American independence in 1776 and then by the French Revolution in 1789. And it itself inspired the other world, other countries as well. So it was well prepared a long time prior to this day. It was not an easy process. It was a long process which took a long time. And although the uprising took place in 1821, for the first time, the new Greek state was officially recognized and declared as a new country, as a new state, was only in 1830. It started having a governor. It was a Greek born in Corfu, which at that time was under the Venice rule. But later on, this gentleman became one of the two, at the time, foreign ministers of Russia. And then he was selected to be the first governor of Greece. But he was the only and the last one, because afterwards, the great powers of that period decided that Greece, the new state, should be a monarchy, a kingdom. Mm-hmm. So another person was selected, and it was Otto, the son of the king of Bavaria. Mm-hmm. So that was the first king of Greece, mm-hmm. and he was the only one who was called king of Greece, mm-hmm. because all the others who came later on, they were called king of the Greeks.
Right. Very interesting history.
Extremely, extremely.
I know you were very close.
The history of Greece is extremely interesting. Fortunately, we have a great deal of links with Greece. A great amount of Maltese people have Greek surnames, and a great deal of families had been living in Greece, and Maltese families who knew how to speak the Greek language. So the Mediterranean, before the Second World War, had a great deal of maritime links, sales, trade. Unfortunately, after the Second World War, this decreased, but now with our adherence to the European Union, with our joining the European Union, this has been strengthening and re-establishing itself with Greece. And let's say it's a wonderful country, full of culture, full of ideas, and it's always interesting to read about its history, about the persons who led the way to civilization in the Mediterranean.
As Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs, I know you meet very often with ambassadors of this country. What's your working relationship with the Embassy of Greece?
They are excellent. Unfortunately, the restrictions have held us a bit back, but whenever the opportunity rose and the need rose, we always managed to communicate and to pass the necessary messages or the necessary views in order to understand better what is happening, especially in the challenges which we are all facing in the Mediterranean, and the support that Greece needs in its challenges which is facing.
Thank you. Your Excellency, usually you would have great celebrations here, even in Malta. How have you celebrated it with COVID-19?
Today I heard our national anthem more than 100 times, and thank you very much for one more.
I'm sorry about
I'm really, no, I'm really thankful. Really, I'm really
Thank
thankful.
you.
I like listening to it.
Thank you.
Anyway, so yes, the COVID restrictions held us a little bit back. We could not do this year what we had to do, what we had planned to do. For example, as far as our embassy here in Malta, we were planning a big concert scheduled for the 30th of March with the Valletta Philharmonic Orchestra in Manuel Theatre and with a very young and very famous Greek conductor. But according to experts, both in Malta and Greece and all over the world, I had to cancel it since December last year. So we're not going to have this concert anymore. Nevertheless, this special day has been celebrated, of course, mainly in Greece today with a big parade during which the great powers of that era were represented. For example, guests of honor were Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla representing Great Britain.
They flew to Greece for the occasion,
exactly.
Right?
The French Defense Minister, Françoise Parly, representing Emmanuel Macron, who was not able to come at the very last moment because of the pandemic, and the Prime Minister of Russia, Mr. Mifsud, and of course the President of Cyprus, President Anastasiadis. They all watched the big parade, the big military parade, which took place in downtown Athens in the big square, Syntagma Square, Constitution Square. And there were other events taking place in Athens, but all over the country as well. As far as Malta is concerned, if you pass by now by the
Embassy.
well, the embassy, yes, is illuminated, but if you pass by the Triton Fountain, you will see it illuminated in blue and white.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
yes.
amazing. Congratulations
it's very
on
nice.
managing
Thank you very
to do
much
that.
indeed. And I'm really thankful and grateful to His Excellency President George Vella. He delivered a message which was updated today, this morning, and it was broadcasted on the Greek television, and it was very highly appreciated by Greece.
That's great. How do you feel about the cooperation between the two countries?
It is strengthening. There's the opportunity to further this relationship, but on the political level, on the cultural level, on the economic level, we are all the time moving forward, and it is a golden opportunity that we should manage to further, because the European Union has given us different advantages which it would be a mistake not to make use of. So definitely yes, and we understand each other easily, so that manages to make things easier on a diplomatic and also on a social level.
Sure, sure. I think we have many things in common as people also. For those people who are not up to date, do you mind giving us an update on the COVID-19 situation in Greece today?
Well, unfortunately, we're at the peak of the third wave. The situation is, I would describe it dramatic in Athens area because it's hit much more than any other area in Greece right now. It's still under control. Well, I remember that both countries during the first phase of the pandemic, we have been very, very successful, but that was not enough, obviously. So now we have this third wave. We're doing whatever we can in order to avoid the worsening of the situation. And nevertheless, we have already a lot of COVID-free islands. So we're very optimistic about the forthcoming summer season. We're going to open our touristic season on the 14th of May. And we have already declared at least 18, if no more, as we speak, COVID-free islands. So we have already thousands of reservations coming mainly from countries where the vaccination process is going well, like the UK, for example, or Israel, or other countries in the world. We are very optimistic, but we are trying hard right now. The situation is not as good as it was before.
Thank you. Dr. Mifsud Bonnici, post-COVID, how do you see the two countries working together?
It will take some time until we arrive to a certain level of normality. I think it's accepted by everyone that it will take time to get the necessary confidence for people to travel and for people to accept tourists in an environment which is COVID-free. And what is being done in these Greek islands, we should follow, because if everything manages to go through as the Greeks are envisaging, then it would be a good example to follow also for these islands. So it's a challenge. It's a very strong challenge. Obviously, there is the commercial aspect of traveling, and there is the tourism part. Both countries depend on tourism. Greece depends on tourism, as we also depend on tourism. Obviously, the numbers in Greece are higher than those in our country. But if this experiment or if this operation goes through in Greece and it is followed through June, May there will be opening, and there are a lot of tourists around Europe who have booked to go to Greece. If it goes through, then surely we should follow suit and watch out what the Greeks have done in order to emulate them in the right direction.
Your Excellency, do you feel positive about tourism picking up in Greece post-COVID, once we're over this?
Well, yes. I'm not an expert, but I have full respect to experts, and I always listen to them. Since the experts decide that we can open, I'm trustful that it will be good to open. If they say no, I follow their idea. But I'm optimistic because as soon as the summer comes, the weather conditions will be much, much better. So it's against the COVID, against the pandemic. And now with the vaccination process in all the European countries at least, so we will feel more, safe in traveling and in receiving and hosting foreign tourists. Nevertheless, last year, we were afraid of the imported cases, but we didn't have so many, finally. So traveling will be safer, and especially with the vaccination process, it will be much, much safer.
It sounds very hopeful.
With a document which at least attests that someone has taken the necessary inoculation.
Like a vaccination
passport.
passport.
Yeah, exactly. It was our Prime Minister who proposed this to the European Union. At the very beginning, there were some,
skeptics.
Yes, But nowadays, almost all, if not all, the European Union member states have accepted it, and it's going well.
Thank you
But it
very
will
much.
take some time.
Thank you. Just a very brief message to the Maltese public, Your Excellency.
Well, taking into account what Greece is celebrating today, I would like to tell them that Greece and Malta are very close. Like Honorable Mifsud Bonnici said before, you have a lot of people with Greek names, but we have a lot of people with Maltese names. In Greece, we have a lot of Vassalos and Maltesos and Psyllas. So those two countries are both Mediterranean countries, and although you have different influences and we have different influences, we have so many things in common, so we can go forward together in the future, hand by hand. We have a lot in common and a lot to share.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And I
you
wish
very
you a wonderful day, the rest of it. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you,
Mifsud
Leah.
Bonnici.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am today with the Honourable Dr. Mifsud Bonnici and His Excellency, the Ambassador of Greece. Thank you for watching. Please do keep sending your queries and comments, and we'll address them during this program. I wish you a good evening. Thank you.